Live, we are coming at you from the BIG Feastival 2021. This is Percy Pig. I am Emma Willis. How are you? Pigs can't speak, I forgot that. Now, if you like all things food, music, fun and families, this is absolutely the place to be this afternoon. We've got so much coming your way. We're going to be having a chat with Alex James, who is the man that puts all of this together. We have got wine tasting with Fred. Chris Baber has got a cookery class for your little ones. What else have we got, Percy? We've got barbecue tips. Probably not the thing I should tell Percy Pig. We've also got competitions coming out of our ears, including tickets for you guys to win to potentially attend next year's festival. But for now, Percy, you have a job that I need you to do. I would love you to go around the festival, find out all the brilliant things that I can do. I'm going to go and sit in a bar and have a drink, and then you can report back. Does that sound like a plan? High five? I'll meet you back here. Bubbles! And bubbles! Now, Percy Pig might be having a brilliant time trekking around this festival, finding all the fun things to do, but one thing he cannot do is drink bubbles. I'm going to hand over now to Fred, who is an absolute connoisseur with all things wine. He's not pairing wine this time, though, with food. He's pairing it with music.
Hello everyone, how are you? I'm Fred CRX. Welcome to Sparks Live at Feastival. I'm here today to try my mixed case of delicious wines, but instead of pairing the wine with food, I have paired it with music. So every single one of these fantastic wines is paired with a great song. So to start with, we've got a Crémant from Bordeaux in France, a Rosé, Quintessence Méditerranée from France also, a delicious Gavi from Italy, fantastic Albarino from Spain, a very, very smooth Rioja, and a Carmenere from Chile. All right, let's start the party.
For your chance of winning a gift card to redeem against your very own case of wine and a message from Fred, simply email sparkslive@marksandspencer.com with the subject line Fred, with a description of your favourite wine and the song you would pair it with.
Hi. Here we are. This is my very first wine. It's a Crémant de Bordeaux. I have paired it with Everybody Dance by Nile Rodgers. I mean, it's sparkling, it's fun, it's there to be enjoyed. That's delicious. Now, there's one thing that people don't know about Crémant, is that it's made exactly like champagne. So basically, it's fermented in the bottle, but it's made in another region of France. Now, this one is made using the indigenous grapes of Bordeaux, so you get that lovely fruit, but also you get the finesse. You get these delicious bubbles here. And this is a wine that you can drink with or without food. If you're having it with food, pasta, chicken, light salads, but with this weather, actually, it's raining all the time at the moment, but never mind, it's gonna give you sunshine. My next wine is paired with Air. We don't have to take our clothes off, but we do need to open that bottle of wine if we want to try it. So let me show you how to open a bottle of wine. Easy, isn't it? You see? I'm very good. Now, let's pour it. So now that's Quintessence Méditerranée. It's produced in the south of France. It's a beautiful rosé with some lovely flavors of strawberry and citrus. This is absolutely delicious. Now, it's great with salads, with chicken. It's beautiful with strawberries, or you could just have it in bed. This wine is so simple, so beautifully made, so easy drinking. Just like the song is easy listening. Enjoy. Right, my next wine, I'm very excited about this. It's a Gavi from Piedmont, and I match it with this beautiful song from Morchiba called Rome Wasn't Built in a Day, which is actually perfect because where this wine is made is quite high up in altitude. And that wine is just like the song, it's gonna make you so dreamy. It's like you're floating in the cloud. There's loads of flavors in there. It's beautiful and floral, really full of pear flavors and citrus, even a little bit of stone fruit. Now look at that beautiful, beautiful color. Oh my God. This is like a fruit basket with all these beautiful fruits that I've just described there. They're jumping at you. Oh, that's nice. Loads of balance there. You can feel how heavy this wine is in your mouth there. It's so well made. Now, that would be perfect with some lovely seafood, with some pasta, maybe some asparagus. Actually, something with a touch of cream, because there's a lovely acidity here, which would cut through very, very well with a nice creamy dish. Enjoy, keep dreaming. Time for next wine. This Albarino from Ria Baxa in Spain. Delicious wine. I have paired it with Tom Grenham, Little Bit of Love. How to open a bottle of wine, lesson number 2. There you are, you see. What I love about this wine is that it's extremely simple, extremely well made, so effective, so full of flavors. And the main flavor here is apricot. And I love apricot. And you can only find them in the summer. You've got to eat the apricots when it's the season, because if you miss the season, it's gone. But guess what? With this one, you can have apricots all year round. Oh, this is so good. This is so, so, so good. Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, that'd be great with seafood. I mean, Spain is so rich, it's so full of seafood, grilled vegetables. I mean, if you're having tapas, this is the ideal wine. But I tell you what, for your aperitif in the garden, or even if you don't have a garden, in your sitting room, on your balcony, it would be perfect. Let's play some music. Now, the song for this wine is Little Bit of Love. And I tell you something, I have a lot of love for this wine. So make sure it's nice and chilled, really cold. You can even put an ice cube in it. Why not? There are no rules. Just make sure that you drink wines your way. It's just the way you want it. And drink it outside. Enjoy. My next wine is one of my all-time favorites. It's delicious Rioja, so good. I have paired it with Lasting Lover by Sigala because I have truly a love for Rioja that's been lasting forever. But not only that, this wine is aged in oak for 24 months and a further 12 months in the bottle. So that is going to last. And this is actually a wine that you can lay down in your cellar and keep because it's only going to get better with age. It's made with Tempranillo, which is a local grape for Rioja. It's full of cherry, of vanilla flavor, a little bit of licorice, pepper. It's so silky, it's so smooth, just like moi. Enjoy. Oh, that smells delicious. Now, my next wine is a Carmenere from Chile. Carmenere is considered as the national grape of Chile. I love this wine. I travel extensively as a young man across the country and I absolutely love the place. I have matched the wine with Rag and Bone Man, a song called Human, which is actually perfect because it's so rich, it's so deep, it's so robust. This is full of flavors. Now, Marks & Spencer have described it as blackberry, cedar and vanilla, but I think for me, they've missed the essential. It's full of leather, full of animal flavor, lots of underfloor flavor, just like as if you are walking into a barn, walking into the woods. This is the kind of flavors you get into this wine. This is perfect for the summer, perfect for barbecues, lamb, chicken, beef. You need something that stands up to that wine because this is so rich. This is gonna rock your socks off. Enjoy. Voila, that's the end of the tasting. I hope you have enjoyed it. I have loved it. You know, sometimes people ask me, what is your favorite piece of music? What's your favorite song? And I can never answer because there are so many beautiful pieces. It's just like wine. I don't have a favorite. I love every single one of these wines for a different reason, depending on the company I'm with or the food that I'm eating. But still, sometimes I like a bit of fish with a delicious bottle of red wine. So enjoy it, drink it just like you want. There is no rules with wine. Enjoy.
Fred, thank you very much. We are now here in the vegetable garden with Alex James. Hello.
Hello, all right.
How are you?
Tired but happy. Might have a quick disco nap in a minute and then
Yeah, I bet.
come up smiling for the kind of the evening session.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
You kind of, so you chill
Yeah.
now and you get ready to party later.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's
Yeah.
actually it's a steeplechase, not a marathon.
I've never been here before, right? So I knew about the cheese. I know about you and Blur, obviously. I didn't know about the cider, so that's a new one. But I didn't expect to
new.
see this as well. And are you like fully hands-on with everything that he's grown
Actually,
and made?
wifey, the garden's wifey's department
Right.
actually mainly. But so what have we got going? I mean, you can't grow everything you need, but and some things are a lot easier than others. There's figs over there. They'll be ready soon.
You got some tomatoes on the way in.
Yeah, plenty of tomatoes. What else? We got the chive. The chives have been a massive success. There's a bit of celery there. What else? The blueberries are nearly all gone, but all the onions coming through there. I mean,
Are
it
they
is.
beans? Is that like the tall ones?
There.
No.
Oh yes,
further up.
they're sweet peas, I think.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
How much do you get to enjoy the festival?
Oh, it is the most fun
Like,
I've
do you-
ever. It's the
can
most
you
fun I've
switch
ever,
off?
ever had.
When you get out there, or are you kind of 50% work brain, 50% enjoyment brain?
Well, you know, I think like training in the years of training in a rock band sort of enables you to operate.
Yeah.
Probably over the kind of, you wouldn't want to drive, but you can kind of hang out and lead the good times charge from the front.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mental thing to do, to like pin all your hopes, and you know, it's literally a year of planning.
Yeah.
And just like condense it all into 3 days when it might rain, but it is a lot of fun. I will.
Someone's
I
having
think
a great time.
they might have just flown off the chaeroplane.
You will finish the festival on Sunday, and
Yeah.
then do you literally have a little bit of time, and then you start going into planning the next one?
Unfortunately, it's like the 30th anniversary of Blur's first album coming out on Monday.
So it's the 10th anniversary of this festival.
Yes, yeah, blimey,
And 30th year of Blur.
So I've actually got to do some work on Monday as well. Could really do with a day off, but I mean, this is actually the most fun I've ever had. I do absolutely love it.
And a decade of celebrating a decade of it.
Well, you know, it started. You could get it all on one piece of paper. It was just, but it was like food, music, family. Because I've made like 5 children, 6 cheeses, and 7 albums. So it's just like filling this farm where we live up with everything that I kind of love. I never feel sort of as close to something magical as when I'm in an orchard.
Really? And
eating cheese.
So are you selling your eating cheese and
That's the
drinking
dream.
cider?
That's the dream, yeah.
Are you selling the cider on site?
Yeah.
So
come
we
and
can
have a pint, yeah.
We can sample it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Okay. And the cheese?
Cheese
that
is, of
for-
course,
for all to enjoy?
it wouldn't be Feastival without cheese.
Where did your love of cheese come from?
I just
When did
but
it?
my for my birthday, well, my mum had like an old reel-to-reel tape recording of me when I'm 18 months old, and she says, "What do you want for lunch?" And I go, "Cheese." It's cheese sandwich. You know, I can't even speak
Yeah.
properly, and I'm asking for cheese.
Right.
It's always been there.
What about songs and cheeses?
So we got Fleetwood Mac and cheese,
Nice.
and Blur.
You've got them already.
Cheese so high, there's no other way. That's all the Blur ones I can think of.
So what song would encapsulate cheddar?
Well, cheddar's like pop music, isn't it? It's Britney
Yeah.
Spears. It's
Everyone loves it.
Everybody loves cheddar. You know, then you got your these smelly, sticky ones. That's kind of grunge kind of area, I suppose, isn't it? What would goat's cheese be? Goat's
Ooh.
cheese is kind of actually little old ladies like goat's cheese. Maybe that's kind of like Haydn
I
or
just said I like
Elgar or
goat's
something.
cheese,
Oh, do you?
Alex.
Well, okay. Do you like Elgar? I like Elgar. Love
I
Elgar.
don't think I've ever had Elgar.
You know, I think
What would
actually
a pungent parmesan be?
a pungent parmesan. Well, that's kind of classic, well-aged. I think would it be unkind to say that Nile Rodgers and Chic are possibly the perfect parmesan?
Yeah, we all love parmesan, don't we? And we all love
do.
Nile Rodgers and Chic. What about a brie? A melted brie, actually, in the oven. That's always nice.
Melted in the oven. That's got to be some kind of Bieber collaboration. I
Bieber
think.
and Sheeran.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it could be Bieber and Sheeran.
Yeah.
It's going to make it, because it's a little bit bland, but you've heated it up, you made it a bit more interesting. And actually, what's not to like? It's a crowd pleaser.
Absolutely. On that note, I think we're done. Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, I'll come and have a pint of Britpop. Let's have some fun.
And there are obviously loads of people watching this that couldn't be here, but next year,
M&S are giving away family tickets.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
For your chance of winning tickets to Feastival 2022, simply email sparkslive@marksandspencer.com with the subject Feastival, with your answer to the following question: do you prefer camping or glamping? This is the Village Green. It is a foodie hub. There is so much here. Down there we have got the M&S Cookery School, and this behind me is the Little Cooks allotment. Now all the kids that are here, they are in there, they are picking fine, fresh ingredients, and then they're heading over to the Cookery School to make a little meal. So we hand over now to Chris Baber, who's going to put them through their paces.
Well, thank you very much, Emma. You join us here in the Little Cook's kitchen, and we've had a fantastic weekend so far. It's been great to see all the kids getting involved. We are making homemade flatbreads with the freshest M&S ingredients, topped with gorgeous tomatoes, basil and mozzarella. They're dead easy to make, and it's super simple. So we're going to put all of the ingredients on the screen for you now, and the equipment. So you've got some flour, yogurt, bit of water, pinch of salt for the flatbreads. We've got these amazing, I'm using Santini tomatoes, some M&S mozzarella, some basil, and you just need a baking tray, a rolling pin, a spoon and a mixing bowl. So easy and good fun to make. So we are going to start with the flatbreads. There's something so satisfying about making your own bread at home. People think it's complicated, really doesn't have to be. And I'm going to show you just how. So start off, we've got our plain flour. That goes into your mixing bowl. And then to our flour we can add the water straight in. You're going to season it up, just a pinch of salt goes in there. And then in with our yogurt. So it just really is all in the one bowl, really easy. That's just plain yogurt into there. And then you want to start mixing it up with a spoon, and then you can bring it together with your hands or they're going to get super claggy. There we are. I don't know what it's like at home, but I can hear ducks, I can hear chickens. I feel like I'm on a little farm here. There we go. And that will start to come together and form a dough on its own. And with the ingredients, if it looks a bit wet, you can always add a little bit more flour to it, but if you've weighed them out, they should be fine. And then get your hands in there and just sort of bring it together in the bowl. If it's a little bit sticky, just a touch more flour. In you go with that. Right, and then we can lightly flour our surface, and just a touch. And when you're flouring a surface for any sort of bread, cakes, whatever it is you're making, not too much flour, because then you're going to change the amount of flour that's actually in the dough. But we want these to be nice and soft. A gentle knead. And I'm using tomatoes, mozzarella and basil today, but you could really top this with your favourites, and it's a great thing to make just to use what you've got in the fridge. You could have a jar of pesto in there. If you like it spicy, maybe a bit of chilli. You might have some ham, whatever it is you like. But the key thing is just to make this dough from scratch. And this really is a perfect recipe for kids or the big kids. Bit of mess, get them into food. I think when you're actually handling the food, it just makes it so much more fun, and you really get to learn how food's made and quite frankly get a feel for it all. So there we go. That's our flatbread. Just another 30 seconds of kneading. And you just sort of push away. There's not really a specific way you need to do this. Push away and pull it back. Just use your knuckles. And obviously this makes one small flatbread, but you could double up or use 4 times the ingredients. Just cut it into 4 and do 4 little ones. And there we go. We're just going to let that sit in the bowl just to let it rest for 5 minutes. And I think we're going to have a little look around the festival while we let our dough rest.
For your chance of winning a virtual cooking class with Chris, simply email sparkslive@marksandspencer.com with the subject line Chris Faber and provide a description of why you would like to cook with Chris.
Our dough is perfectly rested. Now the fun bit, we get to roll it out. So you need to lightly flour your work surface, and then you can use your hands, you can use a rolling pin. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's your pizza. You can do it however you want, but for me, little rolling pin, pop the dough down. And you can just start it off by pressing it out with your fingers, or you can go the whole way with your hands if you want, but just roll it out just under, say, half a centimetre thick. But I'm not going to be there measuring it, so don't worry about that. And again, go for a circle, go for an oval. In fact, the less circular it is, the more homemade it looks. And we get ourselves... Okay, let's get our little flatbread onto a baking tray, and that goes into a hot oven for 6 to 8 minutes until it's sort of lightly golden, and just turn it over after 4 minutes off to the oven. Our flatbreads are in the oven now. First job, dust yourself off. If you're anything like me, you're covered in flour, and then we are going to get onto our topping. So it's all about these fresh M&S. I'm using Santini tomatoes on the vine. So sweet and delicious. One of my favourite tomatoes. Basically pick them off a vine and we'll just slice them in half. Super simple. And the nice thing about putting the tomatoes on fresh and not cooking them through, you really do get that freshness and that burst of flavour from them. Pop those off. And just the smell of tomatoes on the vine, have a smell, delicious. A couple more I think, because I like my tomatoes. And we're just going to slice those in half. So a serrated knife is actually a good top tip when you're slicing tomatoes. And you can cut them in half, you cut them into quarters, whatever it is you want to do. Just straight down the middle. I mean, cheese and tomato is classic on a pizza, and I'm going to use this incredible mozzarella cheese, super creamy. But again, you can use whatever it is you want on the top. If you're not into tomatoes and cheese, you could use a bit of pesto, if you've got any leftover roast veggies, whatever it is you like. Just think about your favourite pizza toppings. You could use some salami on there, you could use parma ham, mushrooms, I'm getting hungry now talking about this. Well, there we go. There's our beautiful Santini tomatoes sliced, ready for our topping. So I was going to grab myself a bowl. That's disappeared, so I'll grab another bowl from over here. Tomatoes going now, and we're going to mix all this together so we've got all the flavours of the tomato coming through with the mozzarella, the basil and the oil. Now onto this buffalo mozzarella. This for me is one of my favourite cheeses, and you just need to tear that apart. I always tear these products and you can just see how creamy and oozy that is. Tear that into little bits, to the whole thing. It's really rich. And if you make it this weekend with cheese and tomato, try next weekend, try with a different flavour. Whatever it is you like on the top, just tear that up. And yeah, this one, another good bit for the kids to get stuck in there, get messy. That's what it's all about here with our homemade flatbread pizzas. Let's tear that up. We can add that into the tomatoes. What I'm going to do is just divide that between two bowls, because you've probably got a bigger bowl than that at home. So I'm going to put half in there. You just keep it all in one large bowl. Give my hands a little wipe. And then onto the basil. Again, just pick it from the stalks and just tear it in. I never chop basil with a knife. You sort of bruise the leaves. I just find tearing it is the best way. And the fragrance of basil, when you're cooking with the kids, get them to smell the food and understand the scent of it, as well as the flavour in the end result. So tear in some basil. Obviously save a little bit of basil for whole leaves to put on the top, make it look pretty, because let's not forget, you eat with your eyes. And I'm talking about picking basil leaves from a stalk. While we've been down here, the little cooks have been picking from the M&S allotment over there, picking their own basil. Oh, and there's nothing better than homegrown. Delicious. So tear some basil in, touch of salt and pepper. Tomatoes, a little bit of salt, delicious. Touch of pepper. And then a bit of olive oil to bring it all together. I'm using this M&S extra virgin olive oil that's unfiltered, so you retain even more of the goodness. And also it's got this amazing flavour. It's almost sort of amber in colour. And the first thing you've got to do, just have a smell of it. Really peppery. Drizzle of that on there. Again, if you like a lot of olive oil, put a little bit more on. Let's give that a little stir. I'm going to use my, just stir with my hands. I can always give them a wash. It's all about getting messy at the little cook's kitchen by getting involved here. And that sort of pizza topping there, that is as simple as that. And to be honest, that's just a delicious little tomato and mozzarella salad. There we go. And now we just need to wait for our flatbread to be ready and then pop it on the top and we are good to go. And while you're waiting, have a little nibble, make sure you like it. And there we go, that is our flatbread. The smell of fresh bread has got to be one of the nicest smells, one of the most satisfying things to make. See, it's sort of slightly crispy on the top, pillowy soft in the middle. All that's left to do is add our tomato, basil and mozzarella topping to it. So just dot it over. I think I've been very generous with the amount of tomato, mozzarella and basil I've put together, so you can serve anything you've got left. Just on the side is a lovely bit of salad. There's nothing better than sort of British tomatoes at this time of year. Delicious. And don't be shy with your toppings either, get plenty on there. Oops. Wait. This is looking good to me. It smells delicious. Just having stirred the tomatoes with the oil, a bit of salt and pepper and the basil, all of the smells are sort of jumping out and coming to life, and especially when it hits that hot flatbread. And if you really want to at home, you could even pop that back in the oven for a couple of minutes just to start to melt the cheese. But for me, I like it just like that. So give my hands a wipe, excuse me. And I think a couple of those little basil leaves on the top, just to make it look pretty. And a drizzle more of our M&S extra virgin olive oil. And it really is as easy as that. That's our homemade flatbread with tomato, basil and mozzarella. I'm going to tuck into that, and in the meantime I'm going to hand back over to Emma, who is out and about around the festival meeting some very special guests, so keep on watching for more.
Oh, Chris, that looked lovely. You can keep it though, because I want barbecue, and this is the man that knows all about it. Matt Tebbett, how are you?
I'm very well. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You've got a right little setup going on here. Is it yours?
It's not. I'd love to say it was, but it's not at all.
Is.
It's that man there.
Oh.
Who's just run away.
But it looks, is this what
Yes.
your barbecue looks like?
It's
What
a
did
little
you
bit
have?
smaller than that, to be honest, but it's
Yeah.
the same principle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is that a smoker?
That is a smoker. Yeah,
And-
but this thing here,
Yeah.
these are great fun to cook on.
So and that's wood, right?
It is, yeah.
I don't see like your traditional coal barbecue.
Well, you
here.
can get charcoal.
Yeah.
I mean, good lumpwood charcoal
Yeah.
is really good.
Yeah.
The stuff from the garage, do you remember those briquettes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
leave those alone.
Oh, don't.
No, no,
I
no,
was
don't
like,
go
oh
to
yeah,
those.
no, I've got
Yeah,
that
you
one.
know those? Yeah. No, don't touch those. And you remember the lighter fluid as
Yeah.
well? No, don't touch that.
Don't
either.
touch that.
No,
okay.
you want to kind of build it up and let it kind of go right
Right.
down. So you want a big bed of white ash, and then you see how this guy's cooking. See the distance,
Yeah.
or the height. It doesn't look high enough. It doesn't look low enough, does it?
It looks like it would
It's too
take
high up in the
all
ground.
weekend.
Well, it does take a long time, but that's kind of almost the perfect heat. So from if your charcoal is there, you want it about here, really.
Okay.
It's a lot higher than you think.
Yeah. I've got a bag of goodies here.
Okay.
Can you tell me what
Yeah.
you would do with all of them on a barbecue?
Okay, where are we starting?
Let's start with halloumi.
Okay, so
I know a really good joke about halloumi, and I can't for the life of me remember
it's
it.
the hello me one.
Yes.
What did the cheese say when he
Yeah.
looked in the mirror? That one.
Yes.
It's not a good joke. It's a dad joke.
It is a good joke.
It's a proper dad
The
joke.
person that told me delivered it with halloumi, like a lovely little ring on it. And whenever I see this word, I always hear it in that way. But tell me, how's barbecue it?
Okay, so
Halloumi,
so I never used to like this stuff,
right?
but then I went to Cyprus
It
and
can
saw.
sometimes be rubbery.
Exactly, I don't
Yeah.
like the squeak. And then I went to Cyprus and I saw how it's made. And when you eat it straight out the vat when it's been made in the hot brine,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's like mozzarella. So what you do is you get it out the what's it,
Yeah.
and you drop it. This is
In a
not a
hand.
barbecue tip. This is kind of more of a. So you drop that into some boiling water for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it goes super soft, and you can just tear it apart like mozzarella.
Oh.
It'll change your life. And then you
But
can chuck it on a
what about
barbecue. I wouldn't bother. Next.
Don't need a barbecue, just a pot of water. Absolutely fine. I got me some peppers, Matt.
Okay.
Lovely little peppers.
Okay, lovely peppers. I would. Those would go straight in the fire. So you turn that,
turn it.
and it goes all sort of blackened and charred.
Yeah.
And then you put it in a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, and then get a shower cap, or some cling film, or a bit of tin foil.
Shower cap.
Okay. Put
Let's
it
go
over the
with
top.
that.
Then they sweat.
Yeah.
You leave them for about 10 minutes, and then you can strip off all the
All the outside.
And then you'll get little bits of black left, but that's just flavour, so that's good.
And it's all soft and lovely,
lovely.
and
Yeah.
nothing on it.
No. Oh yeah. Chop it up,
Chop
and
it up.
then add some good olive oil, some great red wine vinegar, a bit of sherry vinegar, something like
Yeah.
that.
Maybe make a
little
little
bit
feta
of
salad
sugar.
with it.
Put some feta in it if you like.
Corn on the
Okay,
cob.
so corn.
Can you do that on a barbecue?
Yeah, you can. You can do it in the husk.
take forever?
So again, you could chuck it on the grill.
Yeah.
And roll it around. You could throw that until it's blackened and burnt again. I mean, it's all the same thing, really.
Right.
And then obviously you just peel it off. And then you can either eat it like that, or you can then get a knife and then strip down there.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier for kids.
Ready for the next one?
So, steak.
Yeah.
As simple.
Salt, dry aged fillet steak.
Nice.
Yeah.
Salt dry aged. Look at you with all the big hitters.
Wow. What does
okay.
that mean?
Dry aging is where you've got the actual piece of meat in a store, in a dry store, and the salt drying is they've got salt blocks. So the salt pulls the moisture out of the meat. Therefore, it kind of increases the flavour and as it ages.
Nice. And how would you cook it on a barbecue?
Okay, so
what would you do with it?
Well, that's simple.
Top tips and good recipe for it. If you would.
So top tips. I mean, you would so here, for example, you'd build up your coals on one side, and then you'd cook on the other. So you've got kind of the heat is kind of transferred from one side to the other, so not directly over the coal.
Yeah.
If you want to finish off and char it at the end, you can just throw it over. This you could cut in half, or you could butterfly it, for example. Then you've got 2 pieces of meat this big.
Yeah.
That's super quick.
Yeah.
And then I would get some. I mean, a really good steak doesn't need a lot at all. Just salt, black pepper, a bit of thyme, a little bit of garlic if you want. Nothing much more than that.
Do you have a barbecue playlist?
I don't, but I should.
Is there anything that kind of gets you in the mood to barbecue?
It gets me in the mood. It depends what mood I'm in. You know, I've just come back from Ibiza, so I've got those tunes in my head right now.
Yeah.
What else? A bit of Hall and Oates. Kind of the 70s
vibe. Manumission to Hall and Oates.
Sorry, I'm everywhere.
You are. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I feel like I've learnt a lot and I'll never barbecue again.
Really?
I'm still going to leave it to my husband. Should we go get some food?
Yes.
We're going to go get some
Let's
food.
get a drink.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
So that is it from Sparks Live at the Big Feastival. Percy, have you had fun? Good. Have you lot had fun? Yes, I've had fun too. I hope you have watching. You have seen the food, you have seen the drinks, you have seen the fun. That is it for now. We will see you at the next Sparks Live event. Bye! We've got a host of tasty events coming your way soon. Look out for sign-up details for the next Sparks Live event in your email inbox.